So recently I reviewed the CarpodGo T3, and that was a pretty handy unit if you want to add Android Auto or CarPlay to your vehicle. Well, I've been reached out to again and been provided the CarPod Mini. So let's take a look and see what this smaller, less expensive version could be like for your vehicle. We'll start with an unboxing and then we'll get it installed and we'll see what it all looks like in the vehicle as well. So everything that was included with this package would be the unit itself, which we'll unbox in just one second. And then it also came with this power plug adapter, which actually has a couple of USBs on it, a Type-C, and then forward and backwards buttons, and then like a hang up button and maybe a dial knob for volume or something. So that's actually kind of a handy little piece that is gonna provide power to the unit itself. Let's take a peek at the unit. So inside the box, first thing on top is the directions. Very handy. We'll go over a few of these things, but this is going to be connectivity and some of what it can do and the way that it works. We're going to be using it with the Bluetooth functionality. There are some other ways you can connect it, but it's easiest to do it with Bluetooth. The device itself is a bit smaller than the last one. The other one was quite a bit longer. This one's going to be a bit smaller. It's a 6.99 inch screen compared to a phone. Let's see. It is almost the same size as my phone, actually. So that is phone size. So a bit smaller than the other one, but should still be viewable and big enough for, I would think, maps and music. So, but we'll see what that looks like in the vehicle. Next, we have a USB Type-C to C cable. It's braided as well. So a little nicer quality. This probably is going to be our power to the unit, which it is because it's Type-C on the back of it, as I can tell. And then as for the mounting option that's in the box, it comes with one magnet mount. It does have some double-sided adhesive on the back of it, so we'd probably stick this down on our dash where we want it. And then I believe this would rotate. Yep, this rotates up. It's pretty stiff, which is good. That means it should hold it very steady. And I'm going to guess, just like that, it magnetizes to it. So it's going to be very simple install. Basically, just find a good spot. And then if you don't want to have this in the vehicle, if you just pull it off, yep, you can, oh, and this has more adjustment to it too. You can just then collapse this and that'll sit pretty small and out of the way for the most part. So that's actually fine. I'm okay with that as a mounting thing, but the vehicle you mount it in, it's probably not going to move around vehicles because of the way that you're going to stick it to the dash. So let's go ahead and get this all installed and let's take a peek at it actually working in person. Okay, so here we are. We have everything all set up and plugged in. Luckily, it was very simple, and hopefully you can hear me perfectly fine because my microphone died, so we're going to use my phone. It should be okay, hopefully. But everything's all set up. One thing I will say, having set up a couple of these devices, you can get it paired to the device itself very simplistically. It's not difficult to get it actually paired. The one thing I will say is, once it's paired, it will see it, but it won't flip over to CarPlay or Android Auto right away. What you want to do is just restart your phone. The minute your phone comes back on and it connects to the device, then it'll switch over. Once you do that, everything gets connected and pops right up. Now, the good thing I will say is, I was a little, I don't want to say concerned, but I was a little curious how this output would look with a smaller screen compared to the other unit I reviewed, the T3. And I honestly think this might be the size to go with, and I'll go over a few more reasons why in a second, but it actually is not as small overall as I thought it was going to be. It is still obviously smaller, so you do have that, but realistically, if you truly are worried about larger maps, there's a couple ways around that. Now, I don't know the CarPlay side. I know the Android Auto side, which is what we're looking at. If we just press on the map itself, then you just get the full map, and I think that that is big enough. It's not chopping it up in any kind of weird way, so it looks fine in that regard, so we don't have to worry about that. So I think this gets away with having enough information on the map side to totally work. And then, of course, like you saw a second ago, we can do the split screen option so you can get your music and your map up at the same time, which I love. That's usually how I run it around town, because obviously I don't need maps most of the time where I live. I know where I'm going, but I do have it available. Or if you want, you can tap on it and you can go full screen for your music, and then you can go through your music a little bit better. You know, and I will say the touch is very similar to the other one. It's not the world's like fastest touch response. I wouldn't call it bad. I'd say it is acceptable for what it is. it's fine. It doesn't need to be super fast. It's not going to be as fast as your phone. It doesn't have that kind of hardware to drive that kind of speed. It just needs to function, and most of the time, your hands won't be on the device. So you don't have to worry about that all the time. Everything I'm touching is going to the correct places. It doesn't have any touch issues, so I will say the touch sensitivities all seem good. Don't have any problems there, so I'm not too worried about that. It works great in that regard. We can go into our menu settings. We can go through all of the options that Android Auto has, because this is full-fledged Android Auto. That's the whole point of the device, and it's doing it incredibly well. So I don't have any complaints. Now, what I want to say briefly when I say that I think this is the one to get over, let's say, the T3 Go. The T3 Go is larger. So if you truly want the bigger screen, then that is the one to go for. But it really only has one other advantage I can see, and that would be the ability to, I think it comes with the rear camera. So if you truly want to have a rear camera for reverse and that viewing, then that is for sure what you'd want to go with the T3. Other than that, if you're not worried about a reversing camera and you just want Android Auto, I think this size is a little bit better. And I think that without the camera, obviously it's a lot cheaper too. So you can save $1. I think the size works perfectly fine, and it's just kind of the way to go. I think I like its size and its footprint better too, despite being smaller. And that might seem kind of weird, but then it takes up less dash space, and just it's more simplistic. So I think that this is the way to go, and I like it. The other one, touch sensitivity and all of it, I remember worked fine, and I didn't have any issues. But this one seems even just a tiny bit more accurate and a little bit better. So I think it might be just a little bit better. I think I like this Mini a little bit more for my needs, or for the vehicles I would put it into, because I'm not worried about the camera stuff because my vehicle already has it. So this would be the way to go if it was me. One other thing I do want to note that I think is important in terms of the way that this functions is right now we are looking to the south. It is almost 11 a.m. in the morning. It is very, very bright today. There's just a tiny bit of overcast clouds, but not a whole lot of anything really going on outside. And I can see the screen perfectly fine. In fact, it's as bright, if not maybe a little bit brighter than the screen in my vehicle right now. So it has plenty of brightness, and that's always something to be concerned with aftermarket screens. You want to be able to see your maps when it is bright outside, and it's definitely bright, and I can read this thing perfectly fine. So that's awesome. I love that you can see this thing. Also, the screen quality itself looks fine. I don't see any weird light bleed. I don't see anything odd about it. The construction of it was fine, and I would demonstrate taking it off the magnetic mount I have it on, but it is on it incredibly well. So I will not be taking it off of it because it's on there very secure. Now I can get it off, but it's almost 2 hands is better than 1 right now. But anyways, if you have any questions about this device, leave me comments down below. I am going to leave some links in the description to the device, as well as the other device that I did review, in case you want to kind of compare them head to head. I'll leave a pop-up somewhere in this video too, if you want to check that out, because I think comparing them and knowing which one would be best for your needs is definitely smart. So do that. And then other than that, if you could leave a like on the video so other people can find it, I would be very appreciative of that. But other than that, I'll see all of you guys in the next video.